Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus, or just Happy Wednesday night. I am Lou Mangello. You are my friend. If you are watching live, thank you so very much for joining us as we are as we're sort of ramping up the holidays and winding down the year. If you're watching live, please do me a favor. Go ahead and share this out with some of your friends. Invite them into the show tonight as well. And if you're watching on the replay, make sure you join us every Wednesday right here at WDW Radio Live. I see a lot of you guys already in the box. I love seeing so many familiar names and familiar faces. Some friends I haven't seen in a long time. Heather Laredo, nice to see you. Corey P. Hall, Mariah Pop, Virginia Rother. I loved seeing you at the Food and Wine Classic. Dave Rashoni, my friend. I will get to the love that I have for you. I have love for him all the time. John C. Jones, nice to see you. Andrew, Heather, David, Darlene Nagy from West Seneca, New York. Melanie Jones, we're still fighting for the best draft choice we can. New York Giant football fans. Stephen Yellowtail, Sushi Guy. All of you guys, thanks so much for joining me tonight. I am very much, although I'm not actually dressed, I meant to put on my Christmas sweater, and I forgot. I ran out of time. I am very much in the festive spirit of the season. I am excited for the holidays, not just because of all the festive foods, but there's just something special about this time of year. I will tell you, I wasn't planning on. I'm going to tell you anyway. There was a time in my life that I didn't love the holidays. I was not a big fan of this time of year for whatever reason. And as things change and life progresses and new people come into our lives, it has really become my favorite time of the year. Again, not just for the culinary offerings that we receive, but for the family and the friends and the extended family like you. I wish I could have you all over my house tonight. There's cookies cooking downstairs. Linda Lammers, Jim O., Tim Moore, Business Insider and Fox all in one day. And I apologize for those of you who were looking to try and find the Business Insider article. They did put it behind. They did give it to their members only. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I guess so. Maybe they felt that the content was valuable enough to have it over there. But we had a really interesting conversation about the secret purchases of land for Walt Disney World, how and why that happened, and sort of how it compared and contrasts to what Amazon is doing for their second headquarters in terms of trying to buy land. This a lot more public in terms of really courting suitors who are going out of their way to try and attract Amazon to their city, to their small town, because they understand the value it will bring, not just to the residents who are already there, but the business that's going to come as a result of it. Quick sidetrack, but it does go back to Disney. I will link it up on my Lou Mangello Facebook profile if you want. I think you can get a Business Insider membership for like $1. I think it's like $1 a month, and you can check out the article. I'll see if there's another way that I can share it with you guys as well. Just because I think it's interesting sort of comparing and contrasting the two. And thanks to all of you who watched Fox 35 this morning, chatting about all the things that are new and what's coming next to Walt Disney World. There was a lot we had to cover in a very, very short period. Beatrice, you know this, and I'm not sure if Stephanie's in here. When you are on camera, on the air, 90 seconds goes like that, especially when you're trying to talk about like 7 different things that are coming. We talked about gondolas. We talked about the hall. We talked about Star Wars. I don't even know if we got to, we talked about Flights of Wonder changing. So there was a lot of stuff to cover in a short period of time, but it was good to see my friends at Fox again. And I brought donuts, which is nice for everybody. Although I did not eat while I was on the air. I think there's some sort of weird FCC regulation about that. Katie Meeks, what did I think of The Last Jedi? Spoiler free zone in here. I needed to see it twice. And I mean that in a positive way, not a negative way. There was so much going on the first time that I needed to see it again. And after, I was actually going to do a show. Like I was going to record a show like the next night because I wanted to sort of just brain dump it all. But I know it sometimes takes people a while, and I don't want to release a show that would contain spoilers that people couldn't listen to. So we will talk later. Did I bring you guys any tonight? I did not. I have some snacks that I keep hidden in my file cabinet, just in case of emergencies. And the emergency being, I just don't feel like going downstairs to walk. Justin, listen, the interesting thing about Last Jedi, again, being spoiler free, is it seems to be incredibly divisive. There are two camps. There's those that love it, those that not so much, and like they want it removed from Star Wars canon. Again, I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to potentially spoil anything. But I think wherever you are in the camp, it was a fun, entertaining movie. I don't know if I would say it's the best movie I saw this year, which may bring me to one of the questions that I want to talk to you guys about as we sort of think about some of the things that have happened this past week. So I see Dean Rice loved it. Melanie Jones loved it. Peter Lambert's giving me hellos from New Hampshire. Jesse Fouts loved it. And there's no right or wrong answer. You know, for some people, look, the original trilogy is where my Star Wars universe, the original over there, lives. I didn't like the second trilogy. I wasn't really a huge fan of Rogue One. I liked Force Awakens. I personally liked Last Jedi, so much so that I wanted to see it again and I understood more. Lynette Young says, I love Lynette Young, by the way. I miss you so much. The people that didn't love Star Wars need to go see it 6 more times just to be sure. There were elements I did not like. I will not speak to them specifically now. I think they could have shortened the film a little bit. There were some vehicles that they used to do certain storytelling things that they shrunk. But it's a small, I laugh at them more than I do have a major issue with it. So, Tracy Murphy says, same, the original trilogy only for me. It was funny, said there was a lot of humor to it, and I think it was peppered in enough so it wasn't Phantom Menace humor. It was good humor. So, but look, this is the beautiful thing about it is it invites conversation. It invites discussion. It invites a little bit of debate, hopefully not as heated as some other things do. And this is my serious face. I do not want to get into any sort of a political discussion about the Hall of Presidents. I have no say politics-wise one way or the other. The attraction reopened after a lengthy refurbishment. They upgraded the screen, they upgraded the audio, they upgraded the theater, they changed the narration, they changed a little bit of what the story is, and my only request, it's a request, which was not necessarily followed on Facebook, shocker, my only request is that you do this, okay? I don't care what you feel, what you believe, it's a personal thing. I only ask that when you see it, when you read about it, when you discuss it, you do 3 things. You be respectful of one another and other people's opinions. You be respectful of Disney, who admittedly has a very difficult job doing a show that is about it's simply about the history of the presidency, not the presidents and individual things that they've done. I ask you to be respectful to Disney, who I think tells a good story and history of the presidency without it being along party lines. And third, and you may or may not agree with me on this, it's something I try and teach my kids, you need to be respectful of the office. You might not like the man, whether it's your president, your governor, your senator, your school principal, you might not like the person, but you respect the office. And that's the only thing that I ask people to do. And again, when you discuss it, respect one another. Your differences of opinions on, the Hall of Presidents and Stitch's Great Escape and Star Wars, this is what makes the world go round, man. But, if we do it respectfully and courteously, is courteously a word? Probably not. I went to law school. What do I know? It'll be a better place. So there you go. That being said, I am still not going to Walt Disney World this week because of the crazy crowds. So there you go. Anyway, so what was the other thing I wanted to talk about? I completely forgot. We were talking about some of the things that we were covering on Fox this morning. There's a lot of things that are quietly, not so quietly happening at Walt Disney World that I think are very interesting terms of a grander picture. So obviously they're always talking about Star Wars, and they're talking about, little things that are happening, like the Flights of Wonder show being updated, upgraded, whatever you want to call it, bringing in the characters from Up, I think makes perfect sense. Why? Because one, the show is, the show's been there a long time, and I think when you bring in Disney IP and Disney characters like ones that are already in that park, right? Russell and Doug are already in the park. It makes sense to have it there. All of a sudden, you have an attractor to Disney fans, specifically to young Disney fans who might be like, I don't want to go learn about birds. I'm in Disney World. When Russell and Doug are there, all of a sudden it's a different ball game. Somebody said to me, because I mentioned when the news broke a couple of days ago on Twitter about Cirque du Soleil getting Disney characters, somebody's like, I just listened to the show from 5 years ago where you predicted it. I gave myself a couple of high fives up top. I did the snap because I was just talking to somebody the other day about In Living Color, so ignore that. But I think it makes such sense not only to keep a Cirque show there, but to bring in Disney properties. Based on Disney animated films, there's so much you can look. The Disneyland, Walt Disney World, Disney parks are about retelling those stories and expanding the stories of those characters in 3 dimensions. And those 3 dimensions usually exist on what? On a single horizontal plane. When you do something with Cirque du Soleil, with such a cavernous theater and the amazing rigging and the stunts that they can do there, you sort of are expanding the scope of how you were able to tell those stories. So all of a sudden now, when a young child or even an old child sees a new show come in that has Disney characters in it, all of a sudden it becomes a little bit more exciting than trying to explain to your 7-year-old what Cirque du Soleil La Nuba is. When it's the Disney blank show, all of a sudden they want to go see it. And I think this is part of the it's going to be a keystone. All right, I'm saying this out loud as I'm thinking it. The new Cirque du Soleil is going to be a keystone for what I believe is going to be a much larger expansion and additions to downtown Disney West Side. I think that the NBA experience and now the announcement of Cirque du Soleil, whether you agree with or like the NBA or not, that new show building there, the upgrades that are going to come to Cirque du Soleil is going to usher in the a little bit more of an upgrade, I think, and an expansion to West Side, which has really not been touched since some of the marketplace and other areas and in Disney Springs have gotten some of their additional touches. So I would expect that to be the beginning of a much larger update to Disney Springs. And look, I've said before, I don't think that the expansions are done yet. You've heard me talk over the past couple of months about, I believe in my heart of hearts, if you think that the announcements about Epcot are exciting now, wait until they get to the good stuff. Because I really do believe that there's a much larger, longer-term plan for Epcot. I also believe that Tomorrowland they're priming the pump over in Tomorrowland to get that area ready for a much larger expansion. I just saw somebody say, Elizabeth just said, I see Big Hero 6 coming to Tomorrowland. It could look a lot like San Francisco. I wish they could, because I love, love, love Big Hero 6. I don't think they're going to marry it specifically to a single property like Big Hero 6, although I would love a San Francisco land. But you are going to see some rolling changes coming through into Tomorrowland, as well as an expansion. I believe that where the Galaxy Palace Theater once sat, that empty space behind there, which is currently cast parking and some utility areas, that's going to change. They're already expanding the ability for guests to walk in some of those previously backstage areas. There's a lot of prime real estate sitting right behind there, as well as sort of catty-cornered behind the Tomorrowland Terrace. Do not be surprised if in 5 to 7 years, Tomorrowland looks and sounds very different. So, and look, obviously now with the purchase of Fox, and this is a much larger conversation for a much longer day, there is an opportunity. And look, like Bob Iger, we are not worthy. Like, man, if you were here, I would give you the most long, uncomfortable hug because you continue to solidify. Look, I'm a big proponent of thinking about and legacy. Bob Iger, what he has done for this company in terms of the intellectual properties that he has acquired, this Fox deal is going to have long, extended positive repercussions, not just for the movies and theme parks and merchandising, but what they're going to be able to do. You know, if you look at the Fox catalog and what Disney now has access to, man, there's a whole new world of stuff that could be coming to a place like Walt Disney World, which, unlike that dark place down the street that does not have a lot of real estate at their disposal, Walt Disney World has a whole lot. Remember, they've only built on about a quarter of the property here. So the long-term expansion and maybe bring some of those Fox properties in. I said it before, I will say it again. Marvel Land, or whatever they call it at Universal Studios, will be closed within 5 to 7 years. I will bet I won't bet food on it. I'll bet something of not a lot of value, but I would, that is what I believe. So Mariah just saw, you said, there's a January meet of the month after the marathon on Sunday. The meet of the month is on Saturday. I am trying to figure out exactly what time, because they move the kids' races back to like 1 o'clock, which makes me now have to move the meet back a couple of hours. But unfortunately, I have a conflict that night. I have a personal conflict later that evening, so I cannot stay in Magic Kingdom very long. So I'm trying to figure out exactly how to strike that perfect balance, because we also do normally meet a family, or our Make-A-Wish family that we sponsor. So I'm trying. There's a lot of moving parts that I'm trying to get together, but hope to have that figured out in the next couple of days. But plan on most likely Saturday, unless I have to sort of combine everything into Sunday. But we will figure it out. We will get it figured out. So, what was the other thing I wanted to? Gosh, I have another question for you guys too. Lou's throwing. I'm animated and excited. There's a lot of things I am excited about. So, and everybody who's just coming in, welcome. John Jones, I agree. Tron Coaster is going to be what I agree is going to be help, like West Side, help usher in a much larger change. So, do you think there are more entrepreneur opportunities with this acquisition? So Alexandra, explain to me, I saw the magic word, which is entrepreneurship. Explain to me a little bit more about what you mean in terms of entrepreneurial opportunities. Would love to see Wreck-It Ralph replace Stitch. That's been something that has been rumored for some time. I would not be surprised. Am I excited about those snacks? Lynette Young, you know me very well. This is why I wear black. And am I going to see you in San Diego in, yikes, like a month and a half, whatever it is, 2 months? I just booked my flights tonight. So Isaiah Jarrett, I think Meet the Robinsons didn't get as the right amount of love. I really liked Meet the Robinsons. It struck chords with me for a number of different reasons. It wasn't the perfect movie, absolutely not. But there was a lot, I think, that I really enjoyed it. So, Cindy Moat Steppen moved to reservations to stay at the Dolphin during Marathon Weekend. You know who's got 2 thumbs and is a huge fan of the Swan and Dolphin? That guy. And this guy. I love me some Dolphin. I was there the other day. I met Santa and Mrs. Claus. And oh, by the way, he gave me some presents. Santa gave me some presents for you guys. So maybe I'll give some of these away at the end. Maybe we'll do like 20 questions. Or if somebody wants to send me cookies, I'll send them some presents because, again, Santa gave me some presents that I need to get rid of. I need to give these away before Christmas. So maybe we'll do it tonight. Speaking of presents and gifts, and I'm going to try not to get all weepy tonight, but Dave Rashoni, I saw your name, which reminded me of something that I skipped over. Lee Cockrell. Wait a minute. Forget Dave Rashoni. Forget what I said. Lee Cockrell's here. Talk about good guys that I love in a non-creepy way. Lee Cockrell, you, my friend, are a big reason why I'm here and we are here, and the reason why we love this, these parks and this community and everything that Disney stands for. If you have not gone to leecockrell.com and read his books and heard his story and heard him, I think Lee's been on 4 times. Nobody knows and bleeds customer service and that sort of Disney way of thinking the way Lee Cockrell does. So it is it is a pleasure and really an honor to see you here, because he's like the busiest, he's like the James Brown of Disney. He's the busiest man in show business. He's traveling all the time and doing all these cool things. So it's a pleasure to see you here. And we need to go eat again, Lee, because that restaurant was so good. But what I wanted to say to Dave Rashoni and so many of you, the reason why I love the reason why I'm here, like figuratively and literally, the reason why I'm here, the reason why I love you, my extended family in this community, is because of the things that you do. Look, people say, well, thank you. They thank me for creating. You guys build this community, not me. I'm a facilitator. I built the clubhouse, but you guys are the ones that populate it. John Jones, I ordered my Cajun Kringle. I ate my Cajun Kringle. 2 days gone. But I want to thank all of you. This is just like a handful of some of the cards that you guys have sent me this year. I am so thankful to all of them. Dave Rashoni, I love the Winnie the Pooh card. Some of you have, and I don't want to, make it weird, but like pictures of your families, and you wrote such kind. I'm trying to see, where is it? I just had it. There is nothing to me that, I just lost it in the pile of cards. Anyway, but I love, look, I sometimes think we lose that, the simple gesture and elegance of a handwritten note on the back of a card. And I want you to know, I read every card that comes in. I read every word that you write, and I appreciate every little bit of it. So thank you to everybody who has written something. Dave Rashoni, thank you, because I don't know what I loved more in the gift that you sent. I love my little Spider-Man homecoming guy, but I really love my Anise flavor. They're Santa's favorites, so they've got to be good. I have not opened these yet, and I'm not bringing them downstairs because I have zero intention of sharing them. I mean, if Lee Cockrell wants some, I'll give Lee some. Somebody else, and I don't know if you want me to give your name out or not, so I will just call you JJ. You sent me something, and I'm going to get all weepy, and shared a very personal story with me, which is why I am wearing this this pin tonight, and why I have this bracelet, which is about donating life. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you for being part of this community family, and thank you for the amazing gifts that you have sent me, and I will keep the rest of that between us. Darlene makes homemade Anise cookies. You have my address. That's all I'm saying. Maybe more knowledge-based specialists, tour agents, blog writers, people who can find a way to serve niche markets, a different spin. Alexandra Kelly, that I absolutely agree. Look, there are many things. One of the things that, the reason why I am so excited, and the reason why I like helping entrepreneurs and solopreneurs, is because the game has changed so much, meaning that you no longer have to wait for somebody to give you an opportunity, to give you your break. It used to be, if you wanted to do a show about something, somebody had to put you on TV. If you wanted to write an article, you had to be hired by a newspaper or a magazine. If you wanted to do a show on the radio, somebody had to give you that spot, that very valuable spot on the radio. That's gone, right? If you wanted to write a book, trust me, I've been there. If you wanted to write a book, a publisher had to give you a book deal, which is very difficult to do. Now, you can self-publish any book, anytime. You want to become a writer? Start your own blog for free tomorrow. You want to get your voice heard out there, literally? You could become a podcaster and be podcasting within a week. You want to create a TV station, a channel, YouTube, and especially Facebook now is the platform. You don't need that anymore. So, Alexandra, the answer is absolutely. Now, if you are an enthusiast, a fan, if you have a message to share about whatever sort of, however niche down you want to get to that topic, there is an audience out there for it. The beauty of the internet and search and hashtags and all the other things that you can do is that you will find your people. You need to become, and I'm speaking to you all together, you need to become a magnet for the kind of people you want to attract. Let's use Disney podcasters, Disney bloggers, we all talk about the same thing. Everybody's talking about the Hall of Presidents and Star Wars, but you have your own unique voice. That's why people come to you. That's why they listen. That's why they respond. That's why they show up on a Wednesday night when they should be wrapping Christmas presents or lighting the Hanukkah candle or airing their grievances around the Festivus pole, because you guys have come together. Lynette Young, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The people, and everybody loves Lynette Young, but so she's a great example. She has a very specific voice that is authentic to who she is. She talks about the things she wants and the way she wants, and she attracts those people that are of the same mindset. You can absolutely do the same thing. And you know whose permission you need? Nobody's. Nobody needs to give you a break. Pick up your phone, start doing a vlog, start recording a video, start dictating or writing down your first blog post about whatever part of the Disney company that you like. Take this Disney Fox merger and go and be the thought leader on that merger and what it's going to mean now and in the future, whether it's animation, theme parks, whatever. And if you have been on the fence, man, I'll tell you, right around the corner is a perfect opportunity for you, because it's January 1st. And if you're looking to turn that page and start writing a new chapter, we all have our resolutions, which I think are stupid. You need goals, not resolutions. Start writing on January 1st. If you're a little hungover, start writing on January 2nd. You don't need anybody's permission. You don't need anybody to give you their approval. You go do what you do in the way that you are most comfortable doing it, and you will find your people. I am telling you. I'm not saying it's easy. It's simple. It's not easy, but Lynette Young will tell you, you do what you love, man, and there ain't nothing better in this world. And that is why I am excited and animated and emotional about it, because you guys have for 15 years, you guys have given me the gift of the ability to take something that I am passionate about and I love and share it with other people. And you listen. I mean, I think that you listen. So I don't need a Christmas gift. My Christmas gift comes to me every day when I wake up and get to do this. And there's somebody on their side listening. I wasn't expecting that, but it's true. So thank you. There you go. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. There was pepper on my fingers. So there you go. Goals, not resolutions, Lynn Yaw. Absolutely. So, and this is not meant to be a plug, but if I can help you some way, like, reach out to me and let me know. There is nothing I enjoy more than helping people make that change, make that transition, start that journey, for those of you who are at Momentum, get those dominoes starting to fall. I don't have a course. I don't have a membership site. I don't have a video series you can buy. I don't have a funnel. I don't have a pitch. I got nothing except me, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to make something and hope that you'll figure out how to twist it to what you're doing. I'd rather work with you one-on-one or small groups or at Momentum or masterminds or phone calls or meet up at the boathouse and try and help you about your specific questions and issues and problems. Again, this is not meant to sound like a pitch, but if I can help you, just go to LouMongello.com and you can find out more. And, I think that man, if you've been waiting for January 1st, that's bad. But if it just happens to be January 1st and you're, Lee, I have Tabasco in my eyes. I didn't mean to get so emotional. Sorry. But you've got the perfect opportunity. You've got zero excuses, right? Nobody's really working between Christmas and New Year's. After New Year's, it's time for resolutions and goals, and you're all excited, and you're feeling fat and fluffy because you ate your face off. That is the perfect time to start something new. It is the absolute perfect time. And it's easy to make excuses. It is very easy to make excuses as to why you can't do it. But if you want something bad enough, you will go and do it. And if I can help you, I will absolutely be happy to. So, and if you're also looking for other help, I'm going to plug it anyway. Go listen to Lee Cockrell's podcast, his Creating Disney Magic podcast. The man is a font of inspirational, perspirational Disney business, entrepreneurial knowledge and wisdom. And I have seen this man speak. I have been honored to have this man speak at my conference. I could listen to him all day. And there's been days in my car I have listened to you all day, which is not meant to be creepy, but it's true. You will learn so much and be incredibly entertained as well. And you know how much it costs to download Lee's podcast? Goose. He does it for free. He asks for nothing in return. He's sharing decades of experience and knowledge for free. You know who else does that? Lynette Young, right? In so many, she creates content in a lot of different ways, but I love that. Like, I love the fact that people do what they do to try and help others. Amanda loves this podcast. I do the Magic Morning Planner every day. Listen, I've had lunch with Lee. I've seen the planner. I've seen that magical book. I've heard the angels sing when that book comes out of his pocket, because you can only imagine all the good stuff that is in there. Lee speaks right to your heart. No nonsense. It is fatherly advice. Like, and Lee, I mean this to sound this like it is. It's sort of like having a wise parent, or uncle talk to you. Right. And I think I said this on, was it the last podcast or live broadcast, about going to a nursing home or a convalescent home, even if you don't have a relative there, go and talk to some of the, and Lee, this is not meant to compare you to, but go to some of the people that are there and let them tell you their stories. Let them talk to you about their experiences, their regrets, their successes, because there's so much wisdom in there that they were probably not blogging about when they were younger. They would love the opportunity to chat with you. You are giving them an incredible gift, which is a friendly, attentive ear. And I will tell you, you will get golden takeaways from that. So this is, again, I don't mean to sound preachy. I just meant I'm trying to help you. What is the Mary Poppins toy behind me? I don't believe I have a Mary Poppins toy. Do I? That thing? That creepy puppet? That's Becky. So, and if somebody can do me a favor and link to Lee's stuff here in the comments, make it easy. Or Lee, you can do it yourself. So people can go over and find you. I don't know. How do they not find Lee already? Like, the guy, he's an amazing man and an all-around nice guy, too. Lee says, I know a lot because I'm old and a grandfather. You would never know it. I still say you're the busiest man in show business because you are a world traveler, and you're getting ready to go into travel somewhere soon. So, Lynette has no current podcast work behind the scenes. Small 2004 podcasting. Oh my gosh, has it been that long? All of a sudden now I feel old. Like we feel, like you're what? You're 22, 23. So you must have started doing this when you were like 8. Lynette Young, look, I have looked up to you since the first time I met you, not just because you're taller than me, but in a literal and a figurative sense. So she is one of the good people. A lot of that. See what I mean? This community that you're part of, you are good people that attract good people. It's not maybe Mary Poppins under Spider-Man. This is not Mary Poppins. This is Santa's favorite anise flavored cookies, which I will tell you when the show's over, I will be partaking of. I would have one now, but I'd like to have a nice cup of tea or something with it. That'd be awesome sauce. You should also check out, by the way, I'm going to give Jody a plug too. Go find Jody Mayberry, hosts the podcast with Lee, and the Jody Mayberry show also is the second cast recording of Mary Poppins. Oh, back there. That's what you see. Oh, okay. So thank you. That is, so kids, way back when there were things called records. They were made out of like vinyl and wax, and they were about this big, and they spun at 33 and a third revolutions per minute, and he put a needle on it, and music came out of a giant speaker. That is the original Mary Poppins soundtrack album, which it was signed for me by Richard Sherman when I saw him. He was kind enough to sign that and give that to me. So that is one of my treasures that is there. So it's under the tree. So, okay, so that's where it is. It's under there. It's behind. Let me just give you an idea of what else is on that shelf. So there is Bruce Lee. There is my original Starship Enterprise, which I think is from 69, 70, somewhere around there. There is my Goofy's Mystery Tour first place trophy. Scott and Susanna, if you're here, awesome. And there is, here, I'll show you something else that's back here too. There is a Japanese katana letter opener. There is this was my original Buck Rogers in the 25th century cool little spaceship, and these little wings popped out like that because I love Buck Rogers. And this is, and I have to look at the date on this. This is a music box from Walt Disney World that I got in the 70s from Main Street, USA. And if you think, kids, you don't know what a record player is, you probably don't know what a music box is. But it plays. There you go. Amanda says I need the hangry sign. Yeah, I was going to light it up, but I don't think it shows up if I do. Can you still read it if it says? Yeah, you can't read it when I turned on. But is that like an iPod? No, but this is one of my original iPods with I had a silicone Mickey Mouse cover. So kids, if you think you don't know what the other things are, this is what one of the early iPods looked like. I think this was the second generation, it's an 80 gigabyte iPod 2. Martin Shergold, my friend, I'm thinking and praying for you, brother. You know that. I didn't expect to see you here, but Richard Sherman sings, "I love to laugh" on that Mary's Pop. You know what? I actually bought my daughter a record player because she's hip. I'll have to take it out and play that record on there. This does still work. I actually had it charged up for a while. It still works, and my original song collection is still on there. So, and it's not much different than my song collection now, which is basically 80s and Disney, because that's all I really listens to. So, and thank God for Stranger Things, because now 80s music is hip again to the kids. So my daughter actually will listen to 80s music, although she doesn't like, because I used to be a DJ. So I have all these like funky 80s remixes that I put on in the car. And she's like, "Why are you butchering that song?" I'm like, "I'm not butchering that song. I'm remixing that song. And it's awesome." Not necessarily. Nikki Keller, I believe that some things do sound better on vinyl. Not to sound like the old man in the room. There was something about that scratch when you put the needle down, and there was a hum and a warmth to it that you lose on digital. I remember when compact discs came out, there was a lot of people that felt that way, that you lost. And it's not a bass versus treble. It's a warmth. You can't. There's no other way to. There's no other way to put it. So, Christine Morrison, I love Stranger Things. My daughter's a huge Stranger. What is the book on your left with a white corner and curly black swatch? So my left corner, curly black swatches on it. I have no. Is it this side? You need to give me a. You need to give me a a coordinate as to which one you are talking about it. So many artists are now releasing on vinyl. It's the cool hip thing. Let me see. You can put that 499 iPod on a stack of papers and they won't blow away. You know what? I keep it for look. All these things I keep for sentimental reasons. My little Buck Rogers in the 25th century Starfighter has no value probably to anybody else, but it has huge value for me. It's not about the monetary value of things. It's about the sentimental value of things. So some of the things I have on my shelf up there. So, there are things that I don't keep them, but I'm not keeping them because they're worth a lot of money. They're worth a lot to me. If that makes sense. Although I do love my Samurai Mickey and my Haunted Mansion stanchion that I have up there. So, and my Stranger Things thing that my daughter made me, and that's sort of my wall of Spider-Man. So, because I'm a huge Spider-Man nerd. So, it's a white rectangle, book shape or size, far left of the screen. So, do you mean that down there? That's my name written in Japanese kanji, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, so Heather, that's what it is. It's my name written in Japanese kanji, which is actually hiding something behind it that I don't want you to see. Not bad, just don't want you to see it yet. Let's see. Sailing on the Dream on our first cruise on Friday. Any tips or things you can't miss? So, Anne, bring stretchy pants and stretchy bathing suits. I just had a chance to see the Beauty and the Beast show on there. It is, far and away the best show I have ever seen on a Disney ship. It's better than Believe. It's better than Golden Mickey's. It is wonderful, wonderful. Anna Grace Collins, if you're talking about my conference in 2018, I have not announced the dates yet, but it will be in October here in Walt Disney World once again. So, Terry Simpson Doherty, it was so nice to see you a week and a half ago and eat near you at the Polite Pig. The grease tape is not. Do you think I would put the grease tape on these shelves? It was in there, but when I did the 500th show, some people were creeping around my house, like Becky. So I locked it away in my safe. So although I do need to digitize it, I need to have it digitized. So just in case. Now we really want to know what's behind your name. No, you don't want to know what's back there. Not yet. You are Belle in real life, says Amanda Catherine. I could see that. You look like a Belle. The show was remarkable. The show, and I'm not saying it because I'm a Disney fan. The show is remarkably good. Again, I say this all the time, that you forget that you are on a ship. You'll really forget that you're on. It is theatrical quality, and the way that the sets are designed is something I had never seen before. And I was a theater guy. I was, I think I've said this before, I was not just like a theater nerd, I was a theater major when I started college. I did a lot of musical theater when I was in high school, not just Grease. I was in musicals, I was in non-musicals, I was in Hello Dolly, I was in The Man Who Came to Dinner. So I'm not going to, you'll never see those tapes. But so I love the theater, and I love, there's, as much as I love going to the movies, there's still something about sitting in a theater and watching actors perform every single day. Slight nuances. There's just something about that experience. And I really, really loved Beauty and the Beast on the ship. There's slight tweaks and changes and additions to it, which I think don't make it simply a retelling of the movie. And I mean that as an advantage. Do I wait until theater morning to open presents? Do we do it Christmas Eve? Well, so David, for years, Santa obviously would come on Christmas Eve, and Santa used to come to my house. So we would all go to sleep, and then around midnight, we would hear the bells, and we'd go out and see Santa. And so, as tradition would have it, Santa would come and everybody would get their presents, and we would all open up our presents on Christmas Eve. So let me just paint a picture for you. Let's rewind the Wayback Machine to about 1977, just for fun. We are at my grandmother's house on Ocean Parkway and Avenue X in Brooklyn, New York. There's about 35, 40 of us crammed in there. A bunch of kids are sleeping. We come out. Santa's there, although he looked a lot like somebody in my family. But Santa was there. We opened up all our presents until about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then we ate. Because we, as Italians, there's a tradition of the Feast of the Seven Fishes. So we don't have meat on Christmas Eve. But once that clock hits midnight, it's Yahtzee, baby. We still do this now. We open up our presents Christmas Eve, and then we have sausage. We make sausage on the grill. Oh my God, I can't wait for Christmas. We have sausage on the grill outside on really good, crusty Italian bread. Oh my God, it's so good. If you're here in Florida, come on over about 2 o'clock in the morning because we'll be having sausage. It's delicious. It is so good. Dave Rashoni says, we have to talk about that someday. You have to have vocal chops, buddy. Dave Rashoni, I shine in my car about 2:30 on my way to get my kids. The windows are hopefully closed so nobody else has to be suffering through it. But that's really when I think I am at my best. Allison Ramos Miller says, that's the Mexican tradition. Tamales on Christmas Eve and presents at midnight. Can I come over? Because I like everything about that sentence. First of all, tamales on Christmas Eve, and I want to know what you think about cocoa, by the way, and presents at midnight. And then Christmas morning, sometimes we'll save a couple of presents, so you have something else to open up in the morning as well. So, John Jones going to post his remodeling job in the home office where he got the idea. Looking forward to seeing it. Nikki Keller's going to set the alarm. Going meatless, but kielbasa at midnight is the bomb. Fred Ailey, I like that. I don't discriminate against any kind of sausaged meat. So whether it's kielbasa, whether it's Italian sausage, chorizo, I don't care. I love all the sausages. So Christopher Manning loved Coco. I agree. I thought Coco, and again, no spoilers, so I haven't seen it. I thought Coco was a beautiful film, both visually, storytelling-wise. I understand what I mean by this. I am not Mexican, although I play one on TV. I am not Mexican, but I thought it was a beautiful portrayal of Mexican tradition and history and culture and the importance of family, which I think we get in pretty much every Disney film. But there was a lot of reasons why I love that film a lot. Martin Shergold, by the way, I love you, brother. You know that for so many reasons. Thank you for the wonderful gift that you sent me, unexpected, which was food, because Martin knows the ways to my heart and my stomach is through food. I love the mince pie. It's like a little teeny tiny mince pie. It was delicious. I have to have the Christmas pie. So, Cindy Davis says, oysters, fish, stone crab, shrimp on Christmas Eve. Cindy, if you need, if you have like made extra and let me know, and I'm happy to come by and help you. Amanda says, I'm a terrible Italian. I don't do the seven fishes. And I think more modern families don't do it. I think the Feast of the Seven Fishes is a much older tradition. From my understanding, it started because because meat was very expensive. So you sort of sacrificed eating meat on Christmas Eve as you sort of waited for the king to arrive. So you had fish, which originally was cheaper and much more plentiful. Now it might not be the same way. So there was a Feast of the Seven Fishes. Father George, Father Christopher, you can correct me if you know if I am wrong on any of those facts. That's what I remember being told as a kid. I like the seven fishes. I love my linguine and clam sauce. My mother used to make this weird galamad and scungili salad, which was awful. So I just ate the celery in there instead. But I dig it now. So, and Father George, it is so good to see you and Father Christopher here. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Advent and Christmas week coming up and a blessed holiday. Darlene says, my cousin still follows. We do too. And it's, I don't know why I'm an emotional wreck tonight, but as we get older and we start to lose our parents and our grandparents, and you maybe accidentally or unwittingly sort of become the patriarch of the family, it's incumbent on you to carry on traditions, whether you thought they were stupid or not, as a kid. And there were traditions I thought were ridiculous. I didn't understand. As I get older, I understand the importance of carrying them on, whether you understand them, believe in them or not. and making sure your kids do that as well. And now sort of that responsibility is on me to make sure, okay, we're going to do the 7 fishes on Christmas Eve. We're going to open up our presents on Christmas Eve. I mean, Santa he's very busy, and I understand. He doesn't necessarily stop here anymore. I'm going to cry again because my kids are getting older. But some of the traditions that we've held, I want to make sure that we carry on, whether they are cultural traditions, religious traditions, family traditions, whatever they might be. Father George says, Christopher and I have to work on Christmas. And we are, so I will tell you, and I'm not the perfect Catholic, obviously. We don't normally go to midnight mass on Christmas, and it's always been something I regretted, but because we do the Santa thing, and Santa comes at midnight, we hope God understands. So, I've never done the midnight mass on Christmas just because we haven't. So Christine Tilsley Morrison, we still do the 7 fishes. Last year we had sushi. I got to make that happen. I got a new fish for the 7 fishes. We're going to cut out the galamad. We're going to bring in the sushi. I'll talk to the guys down the street and see what we can do. God, that's a beautiful idea because we're still keeping a tradition alive, but we're adding our own sort of Lou Mangello, Christine spin on there. I dig that. I feel you. I like that. I owe you something for that. Father Joy, midnight mass or mass during the night? So is there masses like throughout the evening? Every Christmas Eve, we've always given them an ornament to open and read them. So Robin said we never, and I wish I could have done the reading to my kid twas the night before Christmas. I never did, and I think if I took that book out and tried to read it to my 14-year-old daughter now, I think I'd get probably a little bit of pushback on it, but we'll see. We'll see if we can do that. We used to do the midnight mass until the family got so big, Santa started coming at midnight. So Darlene said we had the same issue too. Again, because we ate for like 6 hours, and because we did we sort of had to go to sleep, at 10 o'clock so Santa could come. We never made it to mass. My church is 4:30, 7:30, 10:30. Christmas Day we have Christmas Day we have 8:30 and 10:30. Wow, you guys are busy. You guys, I hope you still get to eat well for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So, John Hand is going to be the worship assistant at 11 p.m. on Christmas Eve. If you want to make the trek to the Pacific Northwest, you guys have good salmon up there, good seafood. You can see me in action. I've never heard a worship assistant be in action, like see him actually in action. Oh, my God. Robin, you make me cry. My youngest just moved out. He wants me to call to him and still read to him. I don't know why I'm such a sentimental wreck. The best memory was walking in the snow uphill both ways to midnight mass. 10 of our family shouting, "Who's that up on the roof?" Luis Ramos, my friend, have a good night. Have a great holiday, my friend. Melanie Jones making prime rib for Christmas dinner. I think we're going to have that on Christmas Day. Like we go to town on the meats on Christmas Day. So Kimberly goes to church at 1:30, sing for 3, stay for the 6 p.m., eat my picnic at the back of the church between masses. That's dedication right there. John Jones wants the New Orleans Saints to get revenge on the Falcons on Christmas Eve. John Jones, whatever happens on Christmas Eve, it's not going to matter because I think the Saints are going to advance well. And I would not be surprised to see the Saints and the Vikings or the Saints and the Rams in the NFC Championship game. So that's all I have to say about that. And by the way, if you're here, I'm using your mug yet again, Marnie. So shrimp Alfredo. My mother's actually like Santa Claus. She is in transit right now from New Jersey to Florida for the holidays. So if you smell something good cooking or hear lots of fighting over the dinner table, you know that my mom made it here safe. So my wife is cooking up on the green egg. Joe Carey, I don't know what the green egg is. Ken Seigan is watching A Wonderful Life. All right, so here's a question for you. What is your favorite, the quintessential Christmas holiday movie for you during this time of year? What's the one that you just sort of have to watch every year? Is it Santa Claus is Coming to Town? I'll have a blue. I cry every time. The Blue Christmas Without You gets me every single time. Is it Frosty? Is it A Wonderful Life? Is it A Christmas Story? What is your Christmas movie? Lynette Young. I love Elf. Um, it's a new Christmas classic, and I have such respect for Will Ferrell for turning down the $29 million that he was offered to do Elf 2 so as not to sort of ruin the sanctity and the glory that is that film on itself. Christmas Vacation, Christmas Story, Peanuts Christmas, Scrooge the Musical with Albert Finney, Mary Wall, nice one. It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, Christmas Card with Alistair Simpson. I have no idea what that is. Green Egg is a Dutch oven-like grill. Oh, the green egg. I know exactly what you're talking about. I thought it was something that you actually ate. Elf because of Peter Dinklage. It's a Wonderful Life. Christmas Vacation. Allison Ramos Miller. I like Smiling. Smiling is my favorite too. Eloise at Christmas at the Plaza. Die Hard is a Christmas movie for David Coviello. Christmas Vacation, Holiday Inn, The Santa Claus. So we just watched The Santa Claus and The Santa Claus. My kids love The Santa Claus 3. I like 2 and 3 because I like Elizabeth Mitchell because she was in Lost, and I love Lost, and I'm now just finishing my 4th watching of Lost. That's what I watch as I fall asleep at 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And because it's going away on January 4th, I got to get the last few episodes in before it disappears off of Netflix. Muppet Christmas Carol, Courtney, we watched as a family. I forced my kids. I'm like, you get down here, get off them stupid phones. We're watching Muppet Christmas Carol a couple of nights ago. I love it. I love that so much. And I think Rizzo the Rat's performance is only eclipsed, not really by Gonzo, but I think Michael Caine is just wonderful in that. Kathleen Slovak Musgrave, Meet Me in St. Louis. Lost was a great, oh God, Heather, Lost is my favorite show ever, by far. By far. My tradition film for Christmas, it's about heart, so needed. Lou Mangello is my constant. Meg Knott's and Dumplings are my con. Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. Pete Bush, I was just talking to somebody about that the other day. They did not understand the attraction and appeal of it. It is celebrating its, 30th, 40th birthday? Like, classic Henson. With the with the washboard, oh, God, that's good stuff. That is good stuff. Santa Claus is coming to town. I'm with you. Light the Light, Not the Rat. Lost is amazing. Amanda, we just bonded again, as if we didn't have enough to bond. Miracle on 34th Street, I haven't seen in years. I've got to watch it again. Sean, I do put Gremlins in as a Christmas movie. Kayla Artrip, Lost is the best show ever. And when you watch it the 4th time, you still pick up on things that I didn't see the 3 times before. So, the River Bottom Nightmare Band. Gosh, I have to watch that again. I have it on DVD. It does make me cry. Clearly tonight, everything makes me cry. Heather Demmett, this is where we part ways. As desperately as I have tried to like and love The Nightmare Before Christmas, I can't. Excuse me, because I love Halloween and I dig me some Christmas, but I can't. There's just the twain shall not meet for me. So, Sean Murata, I have 4 Christmases on the DVR. I have not watched it as yet. It's really stupid, but I watched Christmas at the Cranks again because sometimes you just need to enjoy a simple, stupid Tim Allen Christmas movie. Gremlins, yeah. So Pete Bush, I'm with you on Gremlins. I'm not with you on Nightmare. I am not with you on Nightmare. I can't do it. I know, John Maloney. I don't like Nightmare Before Christmas. I've tried. I will try again. Because I like some of the music. I certainly respect the work that went into it, but it is not, it's not my favorites. Cindy the Cringe, oh, my brother called me Cindy Lou Who. Oh, he passed a few years ago. The Jacqueline Smith movie where they were drilling in the North Pole, it was going to destroy Santa's workshop. Jim, oh, that might be the most obscure. I have no idea what that is. Holiday Inn is a classic. The best non-Christmas movie you have to watch on Christmas. The best non-Christmas movie that you have to watch on Christmas. I'm usually so busy eating that I'm not watching. Love Jamie Lee Curtis in Christmas with the Cranks. I totally identify with her. Love Actually, I've never seen it. Joe Carroll, Home Alone. Has nobody mentioned Home Alone? Although I have a lot of questions about that movie. Like, I want to know what the parents did for a living to not only afford that house, but to send everybody off with them for the vacation. Of course, this movie could never happen today because they would have cell phones. The Night They Saved Christmas. I've never heard about it. So Heather Demmett, that's my problem, is that I love Haunted Mansion Holiday. I think it's so well done. I was nervous the first time I saw it because I don't normally like the overlays. I look forward to seeing it every year, but I can't wrap my head around the movie. I will have to try it again. I'll have to try it again. So, Allison Ramos Miller despises, she says, A Christmas Story. I don't know that I would go so far as I think there's elements of A Christmas Story. I think you have to sort of be in the right mindset for Christmas Story because I think it's a different Christmas tale. I think there's parts of it that were really funny. I think there's parts that are, okay. It's not my I must see it every year movie. So, Leo Harvey says, we just talked about this. What did the dad do? Like, was he a Colombian drug smuggler or did he just do well in the Bitcoin market? Did anybody mine Bitcoin? Just out of curiosity, just by show of hearts or hands. Anybody mining Bitcoin? Home Alone, Die Hard, two extremes of movies that are both awesome. Did I miss my Star Wars review? Michael, I spoke about it briefly, but I did not want to give away any spoilers. How was the Star Wars Rock and Roller Coaster? It was a lot of fun. I mean, it was fun because it was different. I wrote it, I think, 3 times during Galactic Nights. But it's not like, oh my God, it's the best thing ever. You realize how small that building really is. But it was a lot of fun. John Delancey, not profitable to mine anymore. John Delancey, I saw, quick tangent. I saw your post in our secret mastermind group about your new idea. Dude, we need to sit down. I need to get to blinders. I'm going to get blinders on you, man. You've got entrepreneurial, bright, shiny object. I mean, I want to hear what it is, but we got to, we got to rein you in, brother. Focus for 2018. Get those dominoes falling. Let's see. Gene Shepard went to high school with my mom. That is very cool. Let's see. My little cousin watches The Wizard of Oz as a Christmas. Oh, I thought it was a Wizard of Oz. Okay, so he watches The Wizard of Oz for Christmas. The worst Christmas movie was the sequel to A Christmas Story, which I have not seen. What was different? It looks the same. My eyes were closed. It's completely pitch black inside. There's only some projections on the walls, and there's obviously the audio is different. There's Star Wars music, which makes it a lot of fun, but it's not, it's not anything crazy. I've never seen the Mr. Bean Christmas special, the Star Wars Holiday Special. David Coviello. I have a digital and VHS still copy of that. That's tough to watch. That's tough to watch. The Life Day celebration, the B. Arthur angrily trying to kick people out of the bar for 40 minutes, and then the Wookiee scene where there's no subtitles and they're talking and you have no idea. I mean, there's a lot of trippy stuff. The 70s kids, the 70s were a different time, and sometimes it's you can't even sort of get through it for the novelty purposes because that's how tough some of those scenes are. Princess Leia does sing. Life Day never really took off the way they hoped it would be. It's awful. It's awful. So, Love Actually is excellent, not for kids. I don't think I've ever seen Love Actually. No, not the Star Wars Christmas special. Tasty, it really was a different time. It was a very hippie trippy, yeah. Tim Moore, not a fan of Prep and Landing. Don't really like that it's in the parks. Tim, I think, look, if you get an 11, 12-year-old kid to sit down and watch some of the Rankin Bass specials, Frosty the Snowman, Santa Claus is Coming to Town from the 60s and 70s, they look so antiquated to them that sometimes it's hard for them to maybe get into. They needed, and I think I understand what Disney was trying to do. They were trying to make something for a new generation of children so that they had their keystone movie to attach, or TV special to attach themselves to, as opposed to the shows that their parents watched. I think that's why Prep and Landing was made. I think it's why it resonated with a segment of children, a certain age demo of children. Now the party has gotten started because Maria Raboli is here. Maria Raboli, let me just fill you in on the top 5 things that you missed by showing up late. There was talk of Star Wars, sushi for Christmas, Italians at Christmas, more food, and there was something else. I don't know. There was something else that you missed, but you'll have to go back and catch up. But it's nice to see you. So, and Feliz Navidad, and we will do the airing of grievances later. Mary Wall, I will watch those Christmas specials. If they don't want to watch it, that's fine. I'll watch them by myself because those were the things that were quintessential Christmas for me. Oh, we did talk about donuts. And I went to Dunkin' Donuts today, twice. I went to Dunkin' Donuts to get it for the people at Fox because it's always nice to bring gifts and donuts. And then I went back and got a coffee for myself. So, let's see. Buon Natale. Oh my goodness, you missed so much. You have to come down here so I can catch you up on all the good stuff. And we still have to do our show in Italy. We've got to go. We have so much food to catch up on too. You need to make a special like Lou Mangello weekend trip down here. So my brother and I watched Rankin and Bass all night on Christmas Eve. Our mom would give up and go to bed. I tape them every year. We have them on DVD. Excuse me. But I tape them because I'm too lazy to actually get up and put a DVD in. And I still love them. And they still bring me back to my childhood. Now, look, living in Florida, obviously, most of my family's not here. Most of my family's still in New Jersey. I obviously lost my dad a couple of years ago. That is a tangible connector for me every year to my childhood. So, fortunately, if my kids are watching, or anybody else happens to be there, they're watching the TV and not watching me welling up because of what those shows meant to me and thinking about Christmases as a kid. Chuck Lionberger, I did, and your card, I think I showed these before, your card is amongst some of the ones that I had gotten. This is actually how I started off the show tonight, was saying thanks to everybody for all the wonderful cards and the photos. Wait a minute. I don't have my glasses on, Chuck, so I'm blind as a bat. But I know yours is in here. I just can't see it because I don't have my glasses on. So, but yes, I did get it. So thank you very much. Let's see. What was the special about the guy who had to fix the clock with the mice? I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't know if kids is very well. What do kids think of those shows from the 70s? My kids watch them. This year it's just been a crazy couple of weeks, so we've only watched them. I think we only watched 2 of them. They don't like the one with Burgermeister Meisterburger. They like, I think, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Year Without a Santa Claus are probably my 2 favorites. Man, when Blue Christmas comes on, I am a weeping fool. So, Lynette Young, we do have stockings. Actually, this year, we just got new stockings. So we all have, they're red and green with our initials on it, including 2 for the cats, because the cats have to have stockings as well. So, Santa Claus, Trey Thomas and Santa Claus is coming to town. That's my jam right there. No chocolate coconut. So Tim Moore, you just put 2 of my favorite things into a single sentence. Explain to me more about this chocolate coconut, because if it's dark chocolate and coconut, I'm down like mounds, baby. The dog has a stocking. I want to be a dentist. Of course you want to be a dentist. All right, quick show of hands. Heat miser or snow miser? Who's your guy? Is it heat miser or snow miser? And if I wasn't so shy, I would actually sing the song, because That's one of my favorites during Christmas. Ken Stegan, you're right. Burgermeister Meisterburger is voiced by Paul Frees. Loved Heat Miser as a kid. Fred Abel. I wonder if your choice says. I wonder if a psychologist would be like, oh, that says something to you about your personality. Snow Miser, Heat Miser, Snow Miser, Heat. Sort of a little bit more maybe for the Heat than there is. I'm a Snow Miser guy. I dig me the Snow Miser. I think Heat Miser's got anger issues, and I don't. There's a joviality to Snow Miser, which is why I think I like him, and because I think I look too much like I have the same physique as Heat Miser. So I like this hat, right? He has his little, Bing Crosby, Fred Astaire type pirouette things. So Heat, because I don't like living in the cold anymore, says Eric. Come down here. Come down to Florida. It's 85 degrees today. Heat Miser scared the death out of me as a kid. I cry every time he was on screen. Lynette Young, don't tell her I said this, but he reminded me of my aunt. So, I don't know why I'm looking to heaven because she's still alive. But not that you're watching, but Aunt E, I won't say her name, Heat Miser reminded me of you, and it freaked me out. So, I think that's part of the reason why. Ricky DJ Technoid Reed, an old one, Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. Holy cow. So who was the voice of Mr. Magoo? Where else could you, it's easy once you say, well, you don't have to even know his name, but what TV show was the voice of Mr. Magoo more well known for? Marla Chan, I know. It was chilly when you were here, which was very nice. I don't like it when it's this hot out, but it was 85 degrees today. So, Jim Backus. Who was Jim Backus? From Gilligan's Island, right? He was Mr. Howell III. Who packed a lot of clothes for a 3-hour tour. Like steamer trunks worth of clothes for him and Lovey. Carl Nordstrom, that is an excellent point. And if you watch very closely, you're right. All the hands are dirty because they're always being articulated. Did nobody wear gloves back then? And a lot of those deteriorated to the point that they were like destroyed because they weren't cared for well. Thurston Howell III. I loved Gilligan's Island. I used to be able to tell from the first 5 seconds of watching Gilligan's Island what episode it was about, because I used to watch it all the time. It was like 3:30, 4 o'clock on Channel 5. Wasn't PIX. Channel 5 was wasn't NYW. Gosh, it was only like 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. It was on Channel 5. That's all I remember. And poor Marianne had all that one outfit. I will tell you, my crush was more on Marianne than it was on Ginger. Like, if I had to bring somebody home, I'd like to bring home Marianne. Shannon King, Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you again for all that you do. Please pass along my incredible gratitude to your friend, the elf, who helped out with our WDW ornament exchange this year. We had a blast. Everybody seems to have gotten all the ornaments. So please pass along my thanks to the elf for me. See, everybody likes Marianne. Everybody likes Marianne. I agree. WORTV, John Hand. Holy cow. It's amazing. I wish I still had my cable box. When actually we had a cable box that had the slider. You used to slide across and click on the different channels. Darlene Nagy, love the ornament. I always thought this time they're getting off the island. Do you know that at one point I asked my mom for beets because when Marianne ate the radioactive beets, she got really fast. And so I asked for beets and I hated them. And then I went to school and thought I was faster when I was in gym. But then I realized I was still the shortest, slowest, most non-athletic guy there. And after I escaped from the locker that the other guys threw me in, I realized that the beats weren't helping at all. So, let's see. Not those beats, John Delancey. Different beats. They were the red beats, but they were radioactive. That's why Marianne had all that energy, and she was so fast, because they had lots of sugar in them. So, Fred Abley, I used to call every day to try and get on picks, because what they did was they played old Intellivision games, And when you said picks, it would make like the ball go, it'd make the thing swing, whatever it was, and you have to go picks, 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 and you could win stuff. And I never, just the same way they never said my name on Romper Room. When she used to look in the mirror, and she still goes, I see Carl, and I see Chris, and I see Fred, and I see George. She never said my name. Although, here's a blast from the past. Talk about non-Disney. Does anybody remember the Magic Garden? And I almost started singing the theme song. I had a crush on the girl that was 2 from Magic Garden. And there's actually really good, there's a good WPIX Channel 11 like retro Facebook page that has all those old videos on it. And the dandelions that used to sing, I can't remember what, right, Lynette Young, they never said my name either. Although I remember the story box, and I want to sing it out loud, but I can't. And they would sing the song about the magic story box, and they would open up, and they would put like the weird like paper mache hat on and the other things, and she would be a crow, and they would be on and I loved Magic Garden. Magic Garden was on Channel 11. It was on Channel 11 WPIX back in the Chuckly Patch. You make me cry. I loved Magic Garden as a kid. I absolutely loved it. I loved Romper Room. I liked Captain Kangaroo. Keith Groshans. How could they not say Keith? Everybody in the 70s was named Keith. I did not know anything of the Big Blue Marble. I think if you didn't live in the New York, New Jersey area, I think Magic Garden was local to that station. I'm not sure if that was anything that was ever syndicated. I loved Captain Kangaroo. The Bugaloos, they're in the air and everywhere, flying high, flying free. Yes, I kind of remember the theme song. The Storybox. So much fun in Storybox. Rick Springfield and Mission Magic. I think that might have been after my time. Wasn't one of the girls the daughter of June Lockhart? Was it? Like June Lockhart from Lost in Space, like Danger, Will Robinson, Danger, my young boy. I loved Lost in Space. That was my Dr. Smith impression, by the way, if you if you didn't know. George Huang from Rutgers University saying a quick hello. Did I go to Action Park? Not only did I go to Action Park, but I survived Action Park. Because remember, like, people died. Like, people, when I say died, I mean they literally died at Action Park. That's closed, isn't it? I mean, that's been closed for a while. Captain Noah and his magical ark. Didn't he have the that red jacket with the white pinstriping on it? Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. What about Witchy Poo and the Magic Flute? The Electric Company, starring Morgan Freeman, by the way, was on Electric Company. Zoom. Attraction Park. I love it. But yeah, like Action Park is open again. How'd the lawyers ever let that happen? It's an indoor park here. HR Puffin Stuff. He's your friend when things get rough. HR Puffin Stuff. Never give a little because he can't give enough. Boom. If I could drop the mic, I would drop the mic because I can't believe I just remembered that. Lost in Space did rock. I may have had a crush on the daughter and the mom. Not so much, but I did like, and I had a Robbie the Robot. But I love Dr. Smith and Will Robinson. If you've never seen it, you don't know what I'm talking. Heather Demmett, Land of the Lost with the Sleestacks. I loved Land of the Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition met the greatest earthquake ever known. High on a mountain, they did something, and then they went down a really bad, like, they fell down the waterfall. You can see I spent a lot of time I spent a lot of time by myself as a kid in front of the TV. The Banana Splits, the Nut in Space with Ruth Buzzy. How about the one that starred Gilligan and the other guy, the Far Out Space Nuts, and they built like a rocket ship and went off into space. I was not a big Zorro guy. John Jones, I can't believe he just said Space 1999 because for years I have been trying to find, and I can't find him. Space 1999 used to have like they had a really weird like gun, and I had the toy, and their gun sort of looked like this, and it had these little things on the front, right? And there was like a trigger. That's like what the gun looked like, and I have been trying for years to find the Space 1999 gun and that cool white sort of 4-stage like rocket ship thing. I want to find one and put it on my shelf of love back here. Jim Neighbors and Ruth Buzzley. Jim Neighbors was just Jim Neighbor. All right, here is your Jim Neighbors Walt Disney World trivia fact of the day. You can take this one to the bank. Near Magic Kingdom, there used to be an airport called the Stallport, STOL, short takeoff and landing, where small planes could actually land on Walt Disney World property. And for years, executives would use it, celebrities would use it. The very last plane to ever land or take off from the Stallport was Jim Neighbors' plane. There is your Jim Neighbors, well, golly, connection to Walt Disney World. There you go. Ultraman and Johnny Sacco. So Fred Abley, I went to a Comic-Con not too long ago where they had a really cool figure of Ultraman that I wanted to buy because I used to love all those old Japanese things, but they wanted like crazy money for it, and I'm just a podcaster. So how does my brain hold all this knowledge? Listen, I can't balance a checkbook, Lynette Young, but I remember my TV shows from the 70s and really obscure Disney trivia, which is why I wrote a trivia book, which is why I'm sitting here today. Lost in Danger of Matthew Ryan. I love Lost in Space. Not the really weird guy from Friends and Kid from Party of Five remake, because that kind of stunk. But I dug the original. And they actually did. There's actually an extended. They did they released the Lost in Space on DVD probably 15, 20 years ago, and there was like an extended thing at the end where Dr. Smith and young Will Robinson came out with Robbie the Robot and like were answering questions about what really happened and that they had to go back. It was actually very cool. I think you can still find it on YouTube. Paul Clark, I think he was either here like for just vacation, or somebody had told me that he might have been here for a candlelight processional, which I'm not, because he had an amazing singing voice. Jim Neighbors, golly Gomer Pyle, excuse me, had a redonkulous singing voice, and there's actually a video of him singing. I think he was on like the Lawrence Welk show, and he comes out, and I wasn't going to do it, but like he's belting out this beautiful song, and you could not believe that it was Lost in Gomer Pyle. Sorry. Ultraman is still popular in Japan. Saw some toys over there. But I want the toy from the 70s. Like, I don't want a Lost in Space 1999. I don't want a remake of it. I want the toy that I had like in the 70s. The same way that I saw there was an old show. They were called like it was like Megabots or something like that, and there was a horse called Andromeda. He sang at the Indy 500 every year. That's crazy. Own My Papa, right? The Incredible Hulk with Lou Ferrigno. And I loved, oh my God, his name just jumped out of my head. Who played, and it was David Banner there instead of Bruce Banner. But I loved him less in Incredible Hulk than I did in The Courtship of Eddie's Father. You want to make me cry? People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person. I love him till the end. People, let me tell you, because he's so much fun. Whether we're talking man to man, I'm going to cry. Or we're talking son to son. Oh, my God, I love The Courtship of Eddie's Father. God, why am I like such an emotional freak tonight? I will see your Petticoat Junction, and I will raise you Green Acres. Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Darling, I love you, but keep me in the countryside. New York is where I'd rather be. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. You can get a Space 99 at Monsters in Motion. Wait a minute, I have to like write that down. Monsters in Motion. I can only imagine what it's going to cost me, but Bill Bixby. Green Acres was a hoot. John Jones, they just released, or they've had, because I saw it like in a catalog, Spirograph, where you put the paper down and you put the pens in, and there was all these gears, and you'd make all these cool, different sort of spiral shaped things. Simple pleasures that we used to love. Chuck Lionberger, I loved Hee Haw because her name just, Millie, what was her name? The older lady, and I had a crush on one of the Hee Haw girls, of course. I could sing Beverly Hillbillies. Mr. Ed, I was okay. F Troop, Bill Daniel. Remember when some of the, like, there was a really popular time where the westerns and even the western comedies were super popular. I like the Munsters, Juan Sandoval Tobias. I like the Munsters so much more than I like the Addams Family, which was Minnie Pearl. Minnie Pearl. Good for you, Rita Goodrich. Martin Shirkle used to get the Hillbillies like 2 years ago because he's in the UK and they get things a little bit later than we get. I do remember laughing with the different doors they would open. Goldie Hawn on Laugh-In along with Ruth Buzzy. And the weren't the Smothers Brothers on Smothers Brothers there as well? Alison Obstad's Bertolet, I was not a huge MASH guy. There are episodes that for some reason stick in my head. There was an episode where a bunch of them were on a bus and they were getting and some of the MASH guys were on a bus with some of like the locals, and like Hawkeye was freaking out because he kept on yelling at this lady to make the chicken stop making so much noise because they want to get caught. But it wasn't really a chicken; it was her baby, and like she, not to get like overly she like suffocated the baby so that they wouldn't get caught, and he like freaked out. It was very dark. I was not crazy about that. Sorry, I did. Let's see, where did somebody just put it? So Patricia Carlson, I love the Gong Show. I love Chuck Barris, weird dude, man, total freak. You can believe or not believe that he was a special agent in the FBI and he was on all these secret messages. He was very smart in terms of the shows like that he created, but he was also a Looney Tune. And if there's actually there's a really good movie about him starring, oh my God, what's his name? Because I love the actor and I can't remember what his name is right now, but he's excellent. He is really, really good in it. Hogan's Heroes was another great show starring Richard Dawson, who I liked more in Family Feud, but not as much as, oh my God, it just came out. Not as much as when I liked seeing him on Match Game. Match Game was my Match Game 76, and you can still watch it on Game Show Network at 9 o'clock in the morning. Martin Shergill, Thunderbirds Are Go. And I used to use, so here's some connecting the two worlds. I used to use audio samples from Thunderbirds when I was a DJ. I would remix them into like Thunderbirds Are Go, and there was a 5, 4. I would use that countdown from Thunderbirds as either a bridge or an intro to a song that I was mixing. I just saw somebody say, wait a minute, I just missed it. Where is it? Who just said, I thought somebody said something about Don Adams. Jim Rohosky, I know nothing. Emergency, then Adam 12. Adam 12 had a great soundtrack. Just like the theme from SWAT, I had on a 45, and I will never forget because the center that had the text on it was like this. It was like a burnt orange color, and I loved the theme from SWAT. I don't know how this evolved or devolved into this conversation, but it's really fun going down memory lane. If you're new to the show, we normally talk about Disney, but we're spending the last bits of 2017 looking back on 1977 instead. Sam Rockwell, Tim Moore, that's it. Sam Rockwell was excellent as Chuck Barris, who invented a lot of game shows. Like, he was a very, very smart creative guy. So, sorry. Melanie Jones, you named your hermit crabs after Starsky and Hutch. I love it. I love the original Starsky and Hutch with Huggy Bear much better than I liked the Ben Stiller Owen Wilson remake, which was still funny in its own right. And, gentlemen, it had Carmen Electra and Amy Smart. So they outweighed having Snoop Dogg as Huggy Bear. So David Herrick, I loved and I don't remember the actor's name, but he was a heavyset guy with that mustache. And for some reason, my memory of Cannon was that it used to be at 9 o'clock on Channel 2, CBS. And I was watching one night with my mom. And for some reason, I went into the kitchen at our house on Belvedere Avenue in Plainfield, New Jersey. And I was trying to get something or do something. And I smashed my hand through the glass pane of the door going outside. And I don't know why I remember that, because Cannon was on. So, Dan Omdahl, Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, ready all week with you. These days are ours. So did you like Al better or Pat Morita as Al? Which was the Al that you liked in terms of the owner of the... I had a Fonzie doll. The Fonzie doll, or action figure, had hands like this, but his thumbs were on swivels, so you could make his thumbs go up, and he could take off his black leather-ish jacket. Let's see. I liked Kojak better than Ironside because Telly Savalas. I liked the Love Boat because I liked Isaac. And let's see. Let me catch up here. Wait a minute. William Conrad. Holy smell. Yeah, Pat Morita. Heather, I'm with you. I was a Pat Morita guy. And he would have eventually gone to do Wax On, Wax Off. But what happened to the brother Chuck from Happy Days? Nobody talks about Chuck. The same way in Carousel of Progress, nobody talks about the sister that just disappears after one scene. Is she in prison? Did something happen to her? Is she the black sheep of the family? Jim Orhosky, I wish I still had my $6 Million Man action figure where you would look through the back of Steve Austin's head and he would have the crosshair that you can see, and you lifted up the sleeve and he had that on his arm. He had the computer plate that you could take off, and they also had oh my God, who was his boss? Oscar Goldman, because who doesn't want the Oscar Goldman doll with his bad white plaid jacket and briefcase? And that's all Oscar Goldman did. So, wait, you're good friends with Captain Stubing from the Love Boat? Julie, don't make up stories. I love Love Boat. And what I loved about Love Boat is all the TV stars that you saw on other shows would be it's kind of trying to remember her name. Who was the dancer that had all the fruit on her thing, on her head? But all those stars would be on the Love Boat. Here's one for you, and I'm opening myself up to the easy jokes. Welcome to Fantasy Island. I loved Fantasy Island. It was Lost, but in the 70s, and a little bit more, deliberate in what the storyline was doing. I did love the Bionic Woman. Did anyone ever see Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park? I did not. $6 Million had a backpack radio you clipped to a piece of metal to tune it. Wow, I don't remember that. Charo! Pete Bush, you got it, man. It's Charo. That's it. Kenneth Johnson, the plane. I know, there's an easy joke. I should just go as Tattoo for Halloween one year. All I need to do is find a normal-sized human being to go next to me, and we could be Tattoo and Mr. Rourke. I would love to see that show come back. There was all these little different adventures everybody went on each week, and they always had a nice happy resolution at the end because it was the 70s. Gentleman Yeager loved the Love Boat. And I love the theme song from the Love Boat, which I oftentimes will sing in my car as I'm playing theme songs from the 80s. Hervé Villechaize, who also appeared in what James Bond film? Because again, let's see, Smooth Caribbean Leather. That's right, the Chrysler Cordoba with smooth. Let's see. I love the Billy Bart. Terry Cincinnati. Look at you pulling out Billy Barty, the original voice of Figment. The Love Boat theme is your go-to karaoke song. It's not that I don't believe you, but I want to see you do it in front of a live studio audience. Greatest American Hero, believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer, who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. And if you don't believe me, I've got the T-shirt inside. One of you sent me the T-shirt, and I still don't know whoever sent me the Greatest American Hero T-shirt, which I love and I wear oftentimes when I go to like Comic-Cons or Mega-Cons because I'm the only guy who's wearing a Greatest American Hero T-shirt. The Avengers with the smoking hot English girl, Emma. It was Emma Peel, right? Emma Peel was her name in the Avengers. She was smoking hot. And the other dude with the derby hat, I love the Avengers. Rebecca Lonsky, Evel Knievel. So I had an action figure. Evel Knievel was on his little white motorcycle, and you put it in this like contraption, and you wound it up like on the side, and then let it go, and he like shot down the street. It was awesome. I can't find that. I can't find that anymore, and I can't find my Spider-Man Ricochet Racer. If anybody has a Spider-Man Ricochet Racer, was like a gun that had like a cartridge, and you put it in, and you locked it in, and then you fired it, and it went down the street. Spider-Man Ricochet Racer and Evel Knievel were two. Diana Rigg. Diana Rigg was lovely, and I love the English because of their accents, and they're so darn polite. They're like Canadians. A lot of people have the Evel Knievel accent, right? Fred Abley, Ricochet Racers, man. I have looked for ages. And I loved the Spider-Man one was yellow, and the gun parts were like red, and I cannot seem to find one. So, Pamela Bart, Mork and Mindy. Mork and Mindy was awesome until like the very end. When it jumped the shark, like Happy Days, because Happy Days invented jumping the shark when Fonzie jumped the shark. I've never seen Game of Thrones. I've never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones. So, Julie said I love them. There were some of those shows like My Three Sons, Leave It to Beaver. They were okay. They weren't my favorite. Mary Wall, don't get me talking. I kid you not. I thought about doing a blog about like a separate non-WDW, a blog about like toys from this, like toys I grew up with, like for lack of a better word, that's what I had to call it. It's like toys I grew up with, but I'm like, well, to what end? Because I don't actually have the toys anymore, and then am I going to go crazy looking for them? And then what am I going to do with them? And like just to feed my habit for trying to buy old. But there's some cool videos on YouTube that I will not lie to you. You can ask my daughter. A couple of weeks ago, I found them. I'm like, you've got to see this. And there I was. Fine, I don't care. I was crying. I was literally crying watching videos about toys from the 70s. I'm like, oh my God, I had this one. And they brought back this flood of memories. And I'm weeping. I am weeping, like tears streaming down my face as I'm watching video of toys from the 70s. There's clearly something wrong with me. And most of you probably know that already. So, Christine Marson, I did like Amazing Stories. The Steven Spielberg Amazing Stories, which was on NBC, probably like early 91, 2, 3, somewhere around there. Let's see. Jay still collects Hot Wheel cars. So Jay, my mom actually brought me a box of stuff. Last year she was here. Maybe 9 months ago she was here. And she brought me a box of my old toys from storage. And in there was probably 200 Hot Wheels cars that my kids unfortunately didn't want because kids don't play with Hot Wheels anymore. So I had some of them are Hot Wheels and some of them are Matchbox, because my dad was friends with somebody who worked at Mattel, and we used to go there all the time because they had a Mattel, excuse me, in South Plainfield, New Jersey. They had one of their warehouses there. We used to go there all the time to visit him, and he would give me a big brown paper bag filled with cars. So I have a ton of them. They're now in my garage somewhere, but kids just don't play with that anymore. So, let's see. Rebecca Lunsky. I did have metal skates that you had to like strap to your sneakers. Some Hot Wheels and Matchbox are worth serious money. When I saw them, they just sort of. I remember having them as a kid. Julie Steiner. I do remember the Bugaloos. They're in the air and everywhere. The clackers, the click clackers that you had the stick with the two things on either end, and they sort of click clacked up and down. I had an Aurora racetrack with cars that went around the track, right? So remember the slot car racers, which is like a thing again. There's a comic book store not far from me, that I take my son to sometimes, and they do the slot car racing, and now they have a slot car track, and they time them, and they race them, and they do all that kind of stuff. I didn't even think that they were around anymore. So, let's see. I remember building toys called Fiddlesticks. Tim, oh my gosh, I remember Fiddlesticks. Lincoln Logs. A Total Loop AM radio. Allison, I don't know what that is. Mary Wall, clackers got banned from schools. I remember that because kids were whacking each other with the clackers. Were they click clackers? Or maybe I'm just making that up. So Louis Ianello, Mego is a very tough subject for me because I am sad to say, and I'm not convinced because I have to go through again. I had a Mego Spider-Man figure still in the box from when I was a kid, and I had it with me from when I moved from New Jersey, and I had it with me when I moved down here, and I have not been able to find him, and I'm sad to think that somebody stole him because I had him still in moving boxes before I moved into this house, and I've gone into all the boxes in my garage and have my collectibles. And I remember I took him out a couple times because it was a TV show like Toy Collector or one of those things a few years ago that the guy had his Mego Spider-Man in the box and it was worth like $2,800. And I'm like, I have one. And I went into my garage and I got it and I showed people. I'm like, this is the Mego Spider-Man because obviously I'm a Spider-Man guy. And I've never been able to find him again. And it makes me sad and mad to think that somebody who I invited into my home would have actually stolen him and taken him. So I don't want to buy another one because I want the one that was mine when I was a kid, but I might have to just to sort of add it to my collection. But it's a shame because he was mine and he was still in the box. But I remember having the other, like I remember Aquaman had like these really weird plastic like gloves. They were green gloves. I had Aquaman, Batman and Robin. I had Joker. Yes, I know they're DC, but that's still okay. But yeah, so those I had all open. I still do have. I'll have to bring it in one day since we're doing show and tell. I had my Planet of the Apes and Star Trek Enterprise playsets. They were like big plastic boxes that you opened up, and they were like playsets. And the Enterprise had this thing that you spun around. It was a transporter. You put him in, and he spun around, and then you hit the button, and it stopped, and the guy was gone because he came out the other side. So I'll have to bring those in maybe after the holidays. I'll get them out of my garage. So, which I'm still trying to empty out. So if anybody wants, I'm kid you not. And hopefully this doesn't start. If anybody wants or needs furniture like kids' bedroom sets for like young kids, dressers, beds, let me know. I will hook you up and give you the special Lou Mangello friend and family deal. So, no, Spider-Man Stretch Armstrong, which my brother had, because we used to each grab an arm and like see how far we could stretch them. Kenneth Johnson, I've still got my Star Trek one, and I've got all the figures, and I've got all the accessories. So I've got like Bones McCoy, and I've got his little plastic tricorder, the blue tricorder that goes over. I will have to bring it in next time. You had 20 Mego figures in a box. Your parents sold them by accident. Ay, Dios mío. That's sad. That makes me sad. That makes me sad. I'd have my Planet of the because I loved Planet of the Apes as a kid. Don't bring the Crouch guy. I know I won't say that anymore. Mary Wall, I was trying to explain that to my kids a couple of weeks ago in the car. There was something special about Saturday mornings. Like, you looked so forward to getting up before your parents. I see myself sitting. I had like a den. I grew up in an old house, so my room that I shared with my brother had a den next to it where we had our TV, and I sat on the floor with this big, like, comfy, like, chair, and I would watch Saturday morning cartoons from like 7 o'clock in the morning until they ended at like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon when they started to get to like the live action stuff. We'll never have that again because there's no, there's entire stations and YouTube videos, so they couldn't quite wrap their head around that. So Kelly Beck is also, it was Get Smart with Agent 86 and Agent 99, starring Don Adams, who was also on, who was actually not a nice guy, but he was also on Match Game a lot. So Peter Lambert, Saturday mornings were made for cartoons. Like, that was our time. Isn't it really our time, Mr. Hand? But no, Saturday mornings were our time. So kids today don't know what they miss. Louis Nianello. I also do miss. I miss those Saturday morning days. It was a simpler time. It was a simpler time back then. So, John Hand, Saturday morning cartoons. I mean, you can still find them on, but it's not the same as having like that day that you looked so forward to. Just to watch, like, that was, get your bowl of cereal and sit in front of the TV for hours at a time. So, John Hand, you are Mr. Hand. You found a Hong Kong Phooey Funko Pop. Tracy Grudy Ballesteros. That is the best news I've heard all night. I was never a Funko Pop guy until, and I'm not going to say the name of who you are, but my friend JJ Funko Pops, and now I have those. And those. And you know what? I actually have this one. I actually have an extra one of these, which Santa Claus brought me. I wonder if I should give him away, because he's a Figment Funko Pop from Epcot's 35th. I wonder if I should give him away tonight. I have a lot of stuff I was going to give away, but it's getting late. It's almost 9:30. Should I give away a Figment Funko Pop? Or should I give away a Figment Funko Pop? Or should I give away a WDW Radio Christmas ornament? Not available in stores or online or in my garage. Adams, I just went to the archives. He saw my books, got 2 excited. How cool is that? That's awesome, man. Thank you. We're waiting for the loot. Love Figma, says Erica Patton Miller. Is my shopping all done? Yes. So some people want Figment. Some people want the ornament. So maybe I should do this. Why don't we do this? Why don't I do 2 quick... we'll do 2 very quick Ask Me Anythings. No, sorry. 2 quick 20 questions. Sorry. Or do I do both? No, you know what I'll do? All right, let's do this. Let's do one for Figment first, and then we'll do one for the ornament. So, let's see. For Figment, let me think. Okay. This is how the game is played. All right. You are playing for the new in-box Figment Funko Pop. And all I ask in return if you win it is that when you get it, you've got to post it and share it and tell people how you won it, because I want to get more people into our family in 2018. You want to post exactly how you won it and where you won it. And this is how the game is played. I have written down on this handy-dandy piece of paper something in Walt Disney World. A person, a place, a thing, current former, extinct, delicious, whatever. I will take 20 yes or no questions. Then by 20, what I really mean is that we'll just keep going until we get a winner. And the first person that I see that gets it. Understand that when these come through, there's a little bit of a delay. I don't necessarily see every single comment sometimes. The first one that I see that gets it correct wins. You can only ask yes or no questions. Again, you are playing for the new in-box Epcot 35th anniversary Figment Funko Pop. Not available in stores or wherever. I cannot guarantee Christmas delivery, by the way. We will do one for the Figment Funko Pop, and then we will do one for the handy dandy, not available in stores, unbreakable-ish, or I should just say shatterproof, WDW Radio. Whoops, there you go. WDW Radio Christmas ornament. Looks great on your tree or your menorah. There you go. So, all right, I have the thing down, and we will begin. I'm not looking at any questions yet because we haven't started. Joseph, I saw you're having a problem. The button disabled. Is a like button disabled for individual comments? No, it should. I just liked your comment, so at least I think I did. All right, so okay. All right. The questions don't count yet. So we're going to begin again. You're playing for the Figment Funko Pop, and your questions begin now. Nikki Killen says it looks great on the tree. Thank you. All right, here. I won't keep a. Is it the boathouse? It's a great guess, but no, it's not the boathouse. Let's see. Is it in Epcot? No. It seems like. Hold on. Uh-oh. Is it in a park? Yes. Is it food? No. Is it Magic Kingdom? No. Is it current? Yes. This is that one's. Okay. Can you find it in the park today? Yes. Is it a ride? No. Is it Once Upon a Toy? No. Is it older? No. Is it an attraction? No. Is it Flight of Passage? No. Is it in Hollywood Studios? Yes. Is it Everest? No. Is it Animal Kingdom? No. That's 15, by the way. Is it Frozen? No. Is it Tree of Life? No. Is it Animal Kingdom? No. Is it food? No. Is it the monorail? No, that's 20, but who cares? Let's keep going. Is it Flight of Passage? No. Is it Spaceship Earth? No. Is it Star Wars Fireworks? No. Is it why am I keeping track? Is it a store? No. Is it One Man's Dream? No. Is it Gertie? No. Is it a character? No. Is it Jingle Bam? No, but good guess. Is it Tower of Terror? No. It's not Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam. It's not Gertie. It's not Tower of Terror. It's not Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. Not Beating the Beast. It's not Stormtrooper merchandise. It's not a song. It's not the Muppets. It's not Brown Derby. It's not Galactic Knights. It's not Emily Hartzog, who just joined. Is it Mama Melrose? No, it is not. Is it Prep and Landing? No. Is it the Chinese Theater? No. Is it food? No. Is it Muppet Vision? No. Does it involve Muppets? Yes, it does. Is it One Man Dream? No, there's no Muppets in One Man Dream. It is not an event. Is it Backlot Express? Is it Disney movie related? No. Is it Fantasmic? No. Is it Star Tours? No. Is it Stormtroopers? No. I'm not keeping track. Is it the Dapper Dans? No. Is it a cup? Are you calling me cupcake or are you asking it's a cupcake? Because either way, it's fine, but no. Debbie Buttme got it right. You are the first one to know that it is, in fact, Pizza Rizzo. So I'm going to write your name on here, and I will put it on your your Figment Funko Pop. So, Debbie, do me a favor. Send me an email with your mailing address. I will try and get it out to you tomorrow if I can. And then everybody else, bravo and thank you for playing. You know it had to be food related somewhere. That took longer than I expected. It took longer for you guys to get to something food related. So, do you want to play? You want to play one more time for the WDW Radio Ornament? We can do that too. Let me think of something else. And okay, we will play again. This time we're going to play for the Ornament, which I will send out. And again, thanks to everybody who has been liking and sharing and do all that kind of stuff. The rules are the same, exactly as they were before. 20 questions, person, place, thing. One more time before my voice goes for the evening. The only thing I can tell you is it won't be Pizza Rizzo again. So there you go. All right, we're good. Ready to go. One more time. I don't know why. I'm not even going to bother keeping score because nobody ever gets it in 20 anyway. We just keep on playing. So, because it wouldn't be fair if we just played and then I didn't give it away. So that wouldn't be nice. So it's 20 questions ish. So, all right, here we go. One more time. Starting to take questions in 3, 2, 1, go. Is it the Boathouse? No, but again, Aaron Disner Taylor, like, you know I'm a creature of habit, so that's actually a really good guess. Is it a resort? No. Is it food related? No. Is it the gray stuff? No. In a park? Yes. Is it an attraction? Yes. Is it Magic Kingdom? Yes. Is it a something wombat? Is it Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique? No. Is it the monorail? No. Is it in a park? Yes. Is it a person? No. Is it a resort? No. Is it a Christmas tree? No. Is it current? No. So start doing the math. I just gave you like big clues right there. Is it Peter Pan's Flight? No. Is it Country in Epcot? No. Let's see. Is it the Hall of Presidents? No. Have I ever danced on it? Yes. Yes. I think you have. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train? No. Carousel? No. Space? No. You Have Wings? No. Mickey Mouse Review? No. Skyway? No. Is it Mr. Toad's Wild Ride? It is not. It is not Mr. Toad or his Wild Ride. Alien Encounter? No, but Meg Nodden, good job and for guessing. Melanie Jones, you got it right. Because you know I love Captain Nemo and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Melanie Jones, you are the big or small winner tonight of the WDW Radio Ornament, which will look lovely on your New York Giants Christmas tree. So I can't give you a playoff appearance, but I can give you this ornament, Melanie Jones. You too, please. I know I have your address, but if you could just make life a little bit easier for me by emailing it to me, I will try and get it out to you ASAP. I am making a run to the post office tomorrow to send out some stuffs. So, and I see you have danced on it. We'll just leave it at that. You have danced on it, and in Castaway Key, which, by the way, I cannot wait to get back to again. So, bravo or brava to each of you who have played and won. Listen, I could do this all night, guys. I could do this all night. I cannot tell you again how much I appreciate you. Next week is December 26th, and I have been back and forth about doing a show or not, or just letting Kenneth Johnson, you were in Boston waiting thoracic surgery. Kenneth, I had no idea, man. I hope you're okay. I will certainly pray for you tomorrow morning, and please let me know how things go for you, and if there's anything I can do for you down here to help, let me know. I'm thinking next week, Christmas Day, the day before, and whether you celebrate or not, it's the holiday season. I'm sure you're going to be out with family and out with friends. Maybe it's, we'll see. Maybe we'll let you guys just spend that night with friends in real life, and we'll reconvene again to kick off the new year. I am not going to continue. Look, I've been a sappy, hot mess all night tonight, and I will not do it again. But I do want to say again that you are the best gift I could ever ask for. You are the gift that I never knew that I wanted, because your presence is a present to me every day. And I know that's, it's corny and it's meant to be funny, but it's true. And I'm grateful every morning, and I acknowledge it every day. I thank God for each and every one of you, individually and collectively, because of the life that you have blessed me with, simply by your love and your support that you all show in so many different ways every single day. I am I'm not going to get I will just say this. I hope that this holiday season brings you whatever it is that you are wishing for. It doesn't necessarily mean to be a physical, tangible thing that you will possess, whether it is health, whether it is, happiness, whether it is love or success or inspiration. Whatever that thing is that you want and that need most, I hope that you get it. And I hope that you are able to spend and share this season with those that you love and that love you in return. Whether you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus, the fact that it's December, the fact that the weather's getting, whatever it is, I hope that you have a wonderful, happy, delicious, blessed time of year. And I want you to know that whatever you get, whatever you do, I want you to know that you have given this, you have given a single person an amazing gift, and one that I'm grateful for. So I love and appreciate every single one of you. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Eat well, share your photos in the Box People group. I'll give you a little teaser. There's going to be some changes coming to some of the things we're going to be doing on social, specifically on Facebook and elsewhere, coming in 2018. I'll talk more about that after the first of the year. If you are not a member of the WDW Box People group, please make sure you go ahead and do that. A little bit of spoiler in advance. From one sappy another Italian to another, Deborah, you are appreciated more than you know, and thank you again to all of you. I do go back and I read all of your comments after this is over. So I love you guys. I appreciate every single one of you. Let me find a nice little Christmas song to take us out with tonight. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful holiday, and post pictures of the stuff that you eat, the stuff that you give, and the stuff that you get. And I love you guys. I'll see you soon.